Good afternoon, everyone. Let us start. On World Press Freedom Day, the last Saturday, 3rd of May, the President of the UN General Assembly, His Excellency Mr. Philemon Yang, together with the Presidents of UNESCO, ECOSOC, and the Human Rights Council, issued a joint statement calling on all member states and relevant stakeholders to renew their commitment to the promotion and protection of the right to freedom of opinion and expression, and to work together to address both the challenges and opportunities posed by new and emerging technologies. Also, you may already know this, UNESCO has organized an event tomorrow in Brussels to commemorate World Press Freedom Day under the theme Reporting in the Brave New World, the Impact of Artificial Intelligence on Press Freedom and the Media. President Yang will have video remarks. In terms of the main committees of the General Assembly, the second resumed session of the Fifth Committee began yesterday and is expected to run until the 30th of May. The session will focus on the budget for peacekeeping operations, as well as the report of the Secretary General on the financial situation of the UN. Now, a reminder on events taking place this week. Tomorrow, there is a special solemn meeting in commemoration of all victims of the Second World War in the General Assembly Hall. There will also be a joint informal interactive dialogue of the General Assembly and the Security Council with the Peacebuilding Commission on the 2025 review of the peacebuilding architecture. This takes place on the 8th of May. Also on the 8th of May, a high-level meeting to exchange views and share experiences on the recommendations included in Decision 14/1 of the Open-Ended Working Group on Aging takes place. And then informal consultations on the World Social Summit in 2025 takes place on the 9th of May. On to meetings next week. An informal meeting of the plenary to hear a briefing by the Secretary General on the UN 80 initiative will be held on the 12th of May from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Trusteeship Council. Now a focus on one of the President's priorities. Approximately 160 million children worldwide are still engaged in child labor. One of the priorities of the President is drawing attention to the urgent need to eliminate child labor. To this end, the President will convene another of his signature events, this time an informal interactive dialogue titled Childhood with Dignity, Eliminating Child Labor in All Its Forms, including forced recruitment and use of children in armed conflicts. This takes place on the 13th of May at 10 a.m. in the Trusteeship Council. In terms of upcoming elections, the vision statement of Her Excellency Ms. Annalena Baerbock, the candidate for the position of President of the 80th session of General Assembly, was shared last Friday. At the informal interactive dialogue that takes place on the 15th of May at 10 a.m. in the Trusteeship Council, she will first present her vision statement, which will be followed by a question and answer session. And finally, there will be informal consultations on the World Social Summit again on the 16th of May. Just a couple of announcements. The next meeting of the Advisory Board on Gender Equality takes place on the 14th of May. As you know, the Advisory Board was reestablished by the President to provide advice on ways to integrate gender equality into the work of the General Assembly. The theme for this meeting will focus on addressing barriers to women's economic empowerment by promoting safe workplaces, including addressing technology-facilitated harassment and violence. And lastly, on appointments, the President has appointed Her Excellency Ms. Maria Mikhail, Permanent Representative of the Republic of Cyprus to the UN, and His Excellency Mr. Johnny Beck Ismail Hikmak, Permanent Representative of the Republic of Tajikistan to the UN, as co-facilitators of the intergovernmental consultations to produce a political declaration on the implementation of the United Nations Global Plan of Action to combat trafficking in persons. That's the end of it for me. Are there any questions? Sure, please.
Thank you. I have noticed that talking about the children, the state of the children in the world, the President did not pinpoint the tragedy that happened in Gaza, where over 13,000 children were killed, 17,000 are orphaned, Their schools completely destroyed. 640 children don't go to school. And yet he talks about children in general. Is he living in our world, this president?
He is living in our world. He has put out statements on a couple of occasions regarding the respect for international law, international humanitarian law, that it is important to protect civilians as well as civilian infrastructure. So this, of course, in terms of civilians, also includes children and the plight of children in Gaza. Any other questions? Yes?
Thank you. The reports that the UN initiative 80 initiative has proposed some dozens of ideas on UN reform. I want to know if the President Young, has any comments on the ideas on UN reforms.
When this was launched by the Secretary General, I believe on the 11th of March, he was consulted by the Secretary General. He's working to support the UN 80 initiative, and of course this is why he has convened this meeting on the 12th of May, where the Secretary General will keep the member states abreast of the process on this UN 80 initiative. You're welcome. Any other questions? Any questions online? So wishing everyone a great afternoon and great rest of the week.